Hello everyone, this is Crota giving you Game 6 in this best of 7 series between Mouse and Team Liquid. We have mousesports spawning as the red Zerg player. We have mousesports spawning as the blue Terran player. Meanwhile, we have liquid HayprO spawning as, or liquid HayprO spawning as the yellow Terran. And over here, we now have liquid red spawning as the green Zerg. So this is a Terran Zerg versus Terran Zerg mirror match here on Arid Waste. Should be an interesting game. Now I'll try to talk about the map during the 1 minute that I have to do so. Arid Waste, your natural ramp or your ramp does not lead you to your partner's base, so it is a little bit more difficult in order to try to defend. So Arid Waste is one of those maps where you have to play a little bit more aggressively. If you don't play aggressive on Arid Waste, and especially in a Terran versus Zerg matchup, I normally think that the Zerg player starts to get swarmed. So the Zerg player could start to get swarmed, and that would become a problem. We now see a supply depot being built over here on the front door by HayprO. So HayprO doing that standard wall off. Now, one of the things you also have to be aware about is there are backdoor rocks that lead to the center of the map for 2 of the players. So over here at what I'll call the 5 o'clock starting location and at the 12 o'clock location, there are these rocks. In addition, there are also rocks for the 3 o'clock expansion and the 9 o'clock expansion that lead to the center of the map as well. So both players have to be wary of those rocks and what can happen when they are broken down. Over here, we now see HayprO trying to set up a barracks. Production-wise, we do see a refinery is already up. Currently has 3 harvesters, so you know that is not currently being overmined, as this one drone now tries to wander around and will be able to just back out of there, just doing his basic scouting, not doing too much harassment at all. We already see 6 Zerglings now coming in from Ret, so Ret will be able to move out with those Zerglings very, very early, and now he should be able to get that metabolic boost out in just a moment as well. Zerglings are going to be able to catch that one drone as it tries to come up the ramp. Simply ignoring the drone there. So the Zerglings are now trying to chase after and deal some damage in the main base. There is one Overlord that sees that there are Zerglings already moving out across the map. Back over here, mousesports deciding to move back with this one Marine, realizing that that Marine is going to be the main damage dealer as a second barracks now being placed down. So Straylock going in for double racks, and I'm kind of curious as to what this refinery is here for now. That one refinery not going to really be able to do all too much. It doesn't need, you do not need the refinery to train up Marines. We do see a tech lab finally coming into play, but that will be delayed for quite some time. Back over here, Zerglings now will be able to make it up this ramp or make it into the space and now try to deal some damage against those drones. Zerglings are at least stopping many of those drones from mining for a little bit of time, and now once again trying to come back in. We now see Zerglings dancing around back and forth. And both players just dancing with those Zerglings. Zerglings were trying to take down one of those cocoons. Zerg cocoons have a large amount of armor, so Zerglings are really not the ability, or do not have enough damage in order to get past that very, very thick armor, as now we see double Hellions being trained out of a factory here. HayprO will be able to double train Hellions up in just a moment, and then perhaps deal a little bit of harassment into the Zerg player's base. So sorry, Larva has 10 armor. Yeah, Larva has 10 armor. I'm not 100% sure what I said. I am live streaming this, so thank you to all the live streamers who just told me what exactly how much armor it was. Back over here, Zerglings now activating this Zelnaga Watchtower here. So Ret and Team Liquid know exactly what Mouse is trying to do, but we now see even more barracks coming into play. We do also have a reactor coming online with a tech lab currently training up Stimpack. We should be seeing Combat Shield as well, since we are getting a lot of reactors coming in from Mouse. So it is going to be Marine Zergling as Hellions coming up the ramp with those Zerglings as well. And those Hellions and Zerglings are going to be able to do a lot of damage, especially as those Zerglings are on that creep. And now in come the Hellions. The Hellions are trying to get some damage, and it's going to be very difficult for those Zerglings, those red Zerglings, to try to get any decent surround. And now these Hellions just trying to come in, trying to poke apart. And this is going to be a problem for Moro. Moro now losing many of his drones and many of his Zerglings. So very, very nice play coming in from HayprO. HayprO using those Zerglings and losing the Zerglings with the Hellions, able to prevent any decent surrounds coming in from the red Zerg player. And I believe this may be it. Well, so a very, very nice timed attack by HayprO with those green Zerglings, and now so much damage has been dealt. Moro essentially has no harvesters and only 4 overlords. That is going to be a problem. Moro needs to transfer some over, as now Zerglings going to try to walk up the ramp and now fighting themselves against a sea of Marines. But even with Stimpack, though, I believe the Zerglings are going to be able to get a decent surround. And wow, Liquid simply falling here, and Liquid simply owning here, and now, yeah, this is not looking good at all. So SCV's now trying to fight back. Zerglings is able to pull back once again. In comes some more Hellions, and with so many Hellions in play, those SCVs are going to simply get roasted and toasted. Many of those SCVs are getting taken down. You can see how many SCVs have been lost. And now with Mouse Straylock only sitting on about, what, 7 or 8 SCVs, I believe Mouse Straylock really needs to start trying to power SCV. Otherwise, he's going to be in just a difficult place once again. Mousemore has spent all of his minerals, transferred it all to his partner now. There is some larva here. One Zergling will be able to take down this hatchery, but not much more, as those broodlings will be able to be spawned in just a second, finishing off the Zerglings who are just trying to take down this hatchery over here. We now see a second base being placed down by Liquid Red at the natural expansion at the 9 o'clock location. At this time, HayprO and Red know that they have such a strong advantage that they do not want to try to push out. They can just sit back, relax a little bit, make their opponent come to them, and they know that they would be able to reinforce a little bit more easily. We now see Banshees currently being doubly trained for HayprO. So HayprO double training Banshees off of 2 starports. Where is that second? Oh, sorry, that is not production. That is the unit tab. So one Banshee here, one Banshee here. Now moving out. Cloak already completed. Banshee going to finish off the rest of these barracks. The command center, Overall Command, doesn't have enough energy. Going to lose many of these Marines over here. Marines and Marauders going to simply try to walk up this ramp. Zergling's going to be not going to surround. Perhaps trying to make the fight on creep. And now Mouse Straylock has left the game, and Moro says GG. So yeah, I believe the series is now tied 3-3. That was a very, very fast game here on Arid Waste. It pretty much played out exactly how I thought it would. Some people are asking for the GG button, so here it is. GG! So yeah, game 7 I believe is going to be between it's Mouse. I need to take a look at the lineups to figure out who the ace players are. I believe the ace player from Liquid will be TLO. I'm not 100% sure who Mouse's aces are at this time. But yeah, just a recap on this game. Arid Waste, because your ramp does not open up into your partner's base, it is very, very difficult for a Terran player to try to reinforce a Zerg player. Terran players normally get that wall in, and they're pretty well protected. Zerglings and Hellions would not have been able to get that run by into the base of Straylock. Because of this, Rhett and HayprO knew that the more vulnerable player would have been Moro at this time, and they took advantage of that, simply using Zerglings as that front wall with Hellions behind. Normally, those Hellions would not be able to deal that much damage, but because there were so many Zerglings preventing a surround on those Hellions were able to get off a lot of splash damage. And after that happened, after so much damage was dealt, there was really no way that Mouse could get back into that game. And you can see the tech advantage, and the momentum was just building so well for Team Liquid. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. I hope you guys enjoyed this 2v2 replay between Mouse and Liquid here on Arid Waste. I'm pretty sure there's a game 7 that still needs to be scheduled. I should probably do my research a little bit beforehand, but there are a lot of games to cast, and sometimes I just forget to write it down. Anyways, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Hope to see you guys on Battle.net, and I hope you guys enjoyed this game.